Greetings fellow guitar travellers, it's Rowan J Parker here and welcome to another episode of Music Theory 101, which is a follow-on from the last episode all about subdivisions. In this episode we're going to be applying all the subdivisions we learned in the previous episode on the guitar, so should be cool. Before we get to that, don't forget to look at the website. That's www.rowanjparker.com. Great site, chock-a-block with lots and lots of free resources, though there is a store where you can buy things as well. And you can hit me up for Skype lessons via the website, and you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I've got a lot of stuff on SoundCloud as well, which is all free, and you can also subscribe to the website, so go and check it out. Alright, without further ado, on with today's lessons. Let's get these subdivisions learned and played. Off we go. So just to remind you where we are, referencing the last episode of Music Theory 101, the idea is that we're going to take a pulse and we're going to divide it up into various slices. So we'll have 1 note per beat, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then finally 8 notes in one beat. And so what I'll do initially is I'll demonstrate each subdivision on the guitar with some drums, and just so we can hear it, and also give you some helpful, handy phonetic references if you get stuck trying to remember what a particular division sounds like. And then we're going to do some combination exercises where we just put them all together, and that'll be the challenge, alright? So let's just crack on with the first one, which is just crotchets or quarter notes, which should be incredibly easy because if I stick my drums on, there's the pulse. All we're going to need to do is play 1 note per pulse, right? Which is the same as a pulse. So this will sound like bang, 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 bang. And I would say if you can't play this, there must be something seriously wrong, alright? So let's try. Ready, steady, and... keep it incredibly even. Here's a handy little phonetic you might remember for crotchets if for some reason you get stuck trying to remember what they sound like, or you're trying to teach someone else, more likely, is just use the word T. T, 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 T. It's just a phonetic which sounds like the rhythm. Alright, so that's crotch, it's very straightforward. Then we move on to quavers or 8th notes, which is 2 notes per beat. So what does that sound like? Well, back to the drums. Let's just think about this. Sounds like bang, 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 bang. And the phonetic for this one might be coffee. So you have coffee, 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 and... Again, incredibly straightforward. A lot of rock music is based on quavers, of course. Alright, so that's 1 and 2 there. Well, let's move up to 3 now, 3 notes per beat, which is an 8th note or quaver triplet. So what does that sound like? Well, the pulse is here, 3 notes in the space of 1 beat. Run dun 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 dun. And the phonetic for this one might be the word strawberry. So you'd have strawberry, 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 strawberry. Or you could say triplet, 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 triplet. Or just count up to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really matter which way you do it, as long as you've got a way that works for you. So when you think about 8th note triplets, you can call up how that division sounds against the pulse. Alright, so here we go. Here's pulse. Ready, steady, ready, and triplet, 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 strawberry, 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 strawberry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's triplets dealt with. Now we're on to the next division, which is 4 notes per beat, which is semiquavers or 16th notes. So what does that sound like? Very easy. There's the pulse. Semiquavers sound like ba da 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 da. Phonetic for this one might be Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, 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 Coca-Cola. The conventional counting for semiquavers is 1 eander, 2 eander, 3 eander, 4 eander. But to be honest, Coca-Cola, although it doesn't tell you anything about where you are on the pulse, really is just a lot easier to remember. So let's go with that. Okay, ready? Ready, steady, ready, and Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. covered, and these are the incredibly basic ones you hear all over the place in rock music, funk, fusion, jazz. You hear these all the time. So you should definitely be able to play these divisions, because no doubt you've already played these divisions. However, let's look at the next divisions up. Now from this point up, 5, 6, 7 and 8 starts getting harder, because not only are they technically harder to play because there's more notes in the space of one beat, they're also harder to hear because a lot of these divisions, especially the odd divisions like 5 and 7, are quite unusual. So let's move on to the next one, which is 5. What does 5 sound like? Well, back to our pulse. Here's 5. Alright, that sounds a bit weird, so how can we remember this one? Well, hippopotamus is a good phonetic for this one. Hippopotamus, 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 hippopotamus. You might feel ridiculous doing this, but if it works, it works. You can also count up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ultimately, what you want to happen is you want to transcend these counting systems or phonetic systems and just be able to hear the subdivision in your mind. But the counting or the phonetic is initially very useful to help you recall what the division sounds like. So anyway, on with the drums. Let's get the 5 going. Here we go. Ready, steady, ready, and... One technical thing to note is if you're alternate picking this, which you should be, remember that the first group of 5 will start on a downstroke. If you start with down, and the second group will start with an upstroke, so you just got to watch that. Alright, so there's the 5, and now on to the next division, which is 6, which is semiquaver triplets, or 16th note triplets, or also called sextuplets. Now this is easier to hear really because it's an even division. So again, here's a pulse, and a thing you might think about for the phonetic for this is just diddly, as in the guitar player Bo Diddley, for instance. Diddly 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 Bo. Alright, you get the idea. So quite quick with the plectrum, but it's not hard to hear. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 6. Now let's move on to the really tricky one, which is 7. Now 7 can be quite problematic to hear. Here's the pulse for 7. So what sort of sound can we get for 7? Well, here's the one that I use. Right, which is phonetically da ga da ga da ga da, right? Da ga da ga da ga da, which is 7 if you think about it. Ba da ga da ga da. Da ga 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 da, which sounds a bit mad, I know, but that's what I think about when I think of 7s, and it works for me. So here's the drums. Let's give you phonetic just with the drums to start with before we try and play this. Here we go. Ready, and and very tricky to play this evenly, I find. It's quite prone to rushing or dragging, and being able to hear it accurately is a bit of a problem, but nevertheless there's 7. So now let's move on to the last one, which is 8, right? So 8 is 32nd notes, or demisemiquavers. This one isn't that hard to hear either, because although it's quick, it's an even division. So it sounds like this. Alright, so it should be straightforward to play this one. So let's have a listen. Ready, steady, ready, and... That's no problem at all. Certainly much easier to play than the 7s. I should say, by the way, the tempo here is 70 BPM on the drum machine, and it's a sort of 16th note type drum feel, as you can probably hear. Alright, so that deals with all the divisions from 1 to 8. The next 3 exercises are combination exercises where we're going to play a bar of each division. Alright, so let's get on with the first exercise, which is all the divisions from 1 up to 8. Let's do that. Okay, get ready to play along. Start with crotchets and then all the way up to demisemiquavers. Ready, steady, ready, play. Okay, so that's 1 to 8, 7 again, very tricky to get right. Okay, now the next exercise, we're going to reverse that. I'm going to go 8 all the way down to 1. Alright, that's next up. Okay, demisemiquavers down to crotchets, off we go. Ready, steady, and... Again, very tricky to switch down from 8 to 7. Find that really hard to concentrate like mad, but pretty much got it. Let's do the last round now. 1 up to 8 and then back again down to 1. Hardcore. Okay, crotchets to demisemiquavers and back again. Hardcore, let's go. Ready, steady, and... Pretty much done. Again, to be really honest with you, I feel that my 7s are not as good as they should or could be, so I'm going to have to work on them a bit more to get them better, but the rest of them look pretty solid to me. So that is the end of the exercise and the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. It's quite tough to get all these subdivisions good, but once you can really hear them, start applying them in your playing, your improvisation, a whole host of possibilities open up for you. Right, so check you out next time for another episode of Music Theory 101. Till then, farewell!